I was doing a project actually for the Southern Poverty Law Center, and their publication is Teaching Tolerance, and they asked me if I would write an article about something that I do instructionally in my school. And since I had been brought here to train teachers in SIAP, I thought that would be the perfect thing to write about. So I did some research and I did some interviewing, and I wrote an article called "Whose Student Is She?" And the title of the article is based on an experience that I had when I was a new teacher back in the late 80s, early 90s. And I taught at a school where the students who were the ESOL students, the ESL students, the English language learners, they were new to the school. They had just started basically busing the students in. They called it redistricting, but the students were essentially brought in from other parts of the county. And we started with maybe 40 students, and the program grew to about 110 students. But they were still sort of separated from the regular, the other middle school students in the school. They were in their own hallway, and they didn't really mingle in the other parts of the school unless they were at very high levels of English language learning. And the school was in a part of the district that had wealthy students and upper middle class families. And so my students had a really hard time kind of breaking in. And the teachers, I think, showed a lot of intolerance to my students. Some were wonderful, but there were teachers who were not used to having students who needed extra help, who couldn't handle the curriculum, who couldn't read the texts. Yet we were supposed to put them out for certain classes to be integrated and to become part of the school. And at higher levels of English, they were exited from our program. So teachers, there were some teachers who would come back to me and say, you know, your student can't do this, and your students are misbehaving in the hall, and your students are not following the rules in the class, in the lunchroom. So there was a lot of that language, like, not that these are all our students, but the students who were dark-skinned and who spoke Spanish as a native language, or at that time we also had a lot of Mongolian students. We had a lot of students from other Central and South American countries, Salvador, Bolivia. We had students I had some Brazilian students at the time. It was a mix. I had Chinese students, Korean students, I had some Bulgarian students. Anyway, so these students were unique, and the teachers would say your students, and they called them yours. And nobody ever kind of took them in as our students, that we were all teaching them, that we were all responsible for them. So anyway, so I named the article "Whose Student Is She?" after a particular student that I thought of, and I wanted to recognize that she didn't belong to me personally. She was somebody that we were all responsible for teaching.